Hey, welcome to day two of building a self-referential system. That's a complicated way to say something more simple, which is to automate your entire company's operation away. Um, what I'm doing in this series of video is mostly guiding you along, or at least trying to automate my own company so that you can learn from how I do things and apply it to what works for you. This are long form videos. It's just me chatting, trying to do stuff, and along the way, maybe explain a concept or so. So the reason I'm doing this right now is I had this idea a couple days ago. I read this tweet from Musk, which is the product is the factory. And I really wondered how I could apply this to my life. And I had this realization that the product is the factory for everyone. So if you think that you're building a certain company or a certain tool right now, or whatever you think you're doing, that's not what you should be improving. You should be improving the system that allows you to create this. So the system that allows you to do more and spend really more time doing what you're really uniquely good at. For software, it's the golden era with the new AI coding agents and the current pricing strategy, and hopefully the local models in the future, we're able to automate way more at a much, 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 much lower cost. So I won't get into, too much of the tooling here, and most of the things I'll be talking about applies to any tool. So you might see me use a tool, but this works with any tool. I really want to be clear about this. And this is actually something also that is magical about the current moment in time. Sure, some tools sometimes do something extra, but at the core, there's a few main concepts that exist today that I want to tell you about. And these concepts they exist, they are instantiated into these various tools in different ways. The concepts are skills. So if you don't know what skills are basically text files that describe a capability. So it's as if you were doing a task and then, describing the recipe, writing it down, and then giving this to one of your friends. So your friend would be able to use this skill, which is the recipe, to be able to redo the recipe himself. So that's a skill. Now there's the concept of agents as well. When I use agents, I mean some other form of text that describe behavior. So agents, I like to think of agents as a way to instantiate, a way to behave. So you can have like an agent who really likes to, a marketing agent, and they're really good at writing in a specific style and using certain skills. So the landscape is moving pretty fast here, but all in all, it's a good way to think about this right now. So agents are a bunch of text where you describe behavior and you can list skills within those agents, and those skills are capabilities. Now, most of the time, you won't be writing any of this anyway, because these skills will be very, very specific, like how to code something, how to, like I have one who creates a cal.com invite link, and it's just a bunch of references to some code. You don't need to know what it does. You just need to know that the skill contains this information, and you can call it whenever you need it. And the last concept I want to talk about is MCP. So an MCP, just think of MCP as app, I guess. So there is some websites that decided to allow its users to connect through MCP. What that means concretely is whatever app you're using, you'll get a sort of like little interface, and I'll show you an app right here so you can see what it looks like. And you're able to click here, connect, and this will, okay, now it's directly connected, but this would open a sort of website, and then you're able to follow some easy instructions and just start using that tool. So it's kind of something that works out of the box, and like skills you pretty much gotta mostly create yourself or use other people's skills. But like even if you use someone else's skill, they will not have your credentials. Like it's your account is not connected. MCP can really package authentication like your credential directly. um so yeah, those are the three concepts. So I said skills, agents, MCP. There's a bunch of apps that allow you to do this. You can see me here. This is using, this is OpenWork. This is the personal app I built, so I'm using this. But don't think of it as you need to use this tool and that's the only thing you can use. No, think of it as like there's this skills, agent, MCPs, and you can reuse that infinitely to automate whatever task. So another app would be Codex. Basically, it looks pretty similar. Also has a concept of skills, and I think MCP is a bit more hidden here. Same thing essentially. Or more famously, there's something called OpenClaw at the moment that is taking off. The difference there is, I mean, it's a bit harder to run on the first time, but again, that will change very fast because many people are building simple alternatives. But it's the main advantage of OpenClaw is that you can access it through WhatsApp or Telegram directly. We'll be using this interface, but just to repeat one last time, the interface doesn't matter. Everyone uses the same things under the hood. And if you understand those concepts, you can automate pretty much all of your company. So I'll just show you a quick example. Let's start with something simple. I want to go on LinkedIn. Let's go. I'm also using Whisper Flow, it's called. That's how I can talk to my computer. If you don't use this, it's very practical. Could you use Chrome and open LinkedIn for me? All right, it says, I keep forgetting to do this, but I always need to connect Chrome first. All right, so it's going on LinkedIn and it's connected. Now let's continue doing the task. And this is often how I do it. I want to create a skill. I say, okay, I'll also go on Notion and I'll create a new page. What could be a good name? LinkedIn socials ideas. And then I will do like a new post. What could it be? Open works or tools. So I could start writing something here, but I'll dictate. OpenWork is an app that allows you to use all the tools you already use and easily connect them together to achieve very complex automations over time. It's for you and your team. So I have this saved here. I'm going back in OpenWork, and there's this thing I want to start automating, which is I like to write, like writing the content is fine, but I don't want to, do all the copy pasting and reformat it for LinkedIn, etc. So I will ask, um, the, I will ask OpenWork again to go on this page, pick the uppermost page and get the content. So I want to start doing this. Oh, it's it's trying to do this. That's my bad. I need to connect Notion first. I'll connect Notion right now. Okay, it seems happy to connect. Let's go back on the automation. All right, so I'll tell it now. This time use the Notion MCP to attempt to do the same thing. Oh, didn't understand my English well. All right, but it's getting the things. Okay, OpenWork is an app. Yes, so it got the right information. And now I'm going to say it, cool. Well, post LinkedIn adapted, like, no, let's do it a bit. What would be a good LinkedIn adapted version of this? Let's say it's good enough. All right. Could you post it on LinkedIn for me? Personal profile. So now it's going to try to go on LinkedIn. It's clicking around as a human really would do as well. asking me to fill out. Yes. And it's posted. Now, this was a very convoluted way to do something very simple, but I'm going to show you the real unlock right now. So I'm going to ask it to create a skill. So I'm going to like slash skill creator. Remember exactly how you did this. And when I use this skill, just rerun the same process again, where you pick the first element of that Notion page, the first one that comes in, you LinkedInify it, and then you post it on LinkedIn. And now it's essentially creating a skill. It's very good. Like that's a very effective way to create a skill. So I needed to guide it this time, but the goal is that the next time I can just call this skill directly and it's able to execute this whole flow in the background. So I'm going to create another page. I hope this is going to work. Let's be like, this is an automation test for, no, let's be open work. Automations are cool. We just demoed the skill creator skill in OpenWork. I could write whatever. It could be something around like, maybe actually, let's use something from my blog. Just ask it to take this from my blog, put it here. But like ideally, I want this to be things I write that are not shared and retransmitted on different socials. So I place it here, and now if once this is done, should use Codex 5.3. Cool. It asked me to reload, so I'm going to reload. All right, and if I start a new chat right now, I would be able to do, I don't know if it call it LinkedIn. What did it call it? Notion first to LinkedIn. Well, it seems I need to reload the app. Another bug I need to fix. Okay, now I got it. So Notion first to LinkedIn, and then now I can let us launch this skill, and it will just execute this on its own. Now, while it's doing this, I want to start talking about the next concept. So what were we able to do? We were able to do one action, step by step, accompanying the AI, basically. It worked. And then we told it to create a reusable pattern, a skill, so it would remember how to do this again. And you can see this is happening right now. It's recreating this whole pattern. It's already went on Notion to fetch some stuff, and it's going on LinkedIn, and it's going to do the exact same thing. And while it's doing this, I'll start something else. So once you have all this, it ends up also here in skills. So you can see the skills will appear here, and you'll be able to basically use them as you wish. The next thing I want to tell you about is not agents, that will be for another time, but it's the concept of automation. So I told you about apps. Apps is how I connected to Notion this time. I told you about skill. That's how we create this reusable information. The next important thing that I haven't talked about until now, because it's kind of a more abstract concept in a way, is the fact to run this on a loop or a cycle or on a specific date. And that's where automation comes in. So let's see. Okay, so this did everything except posting. I guess I could modify the scale. But like, yeah, it kind of like LinkedInify my post and like was able to do all of this automatically just by me telling it once what to do. Now, if I wanted this to happen automatically, it would be pretty easy. I could say, cool, could you run this on a schedule? Every day, check if there's a new entry there and trigger that skill if there is one. All right, there's this little bug. So we noticed this bug. So I need just to write some stuff down. Notice this bug from, okay, so the hot reload of the skills doesn't seem to work. And there was another bug. Oh yeah, the Notion MCP didn't work on the first try. Cool. Um, blah, 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 you can ignore, success. Okay, so it got a bit confused, so that's, I'll need to help it understand. Um, mm, 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 mm. Um, Let me check actually. Maybe that's another bug. Do you have access to this scheduler? Let's, okay. Yeah, please use the scheduler for trigger this. Okay, now it actually scheduled it. What wording did I use? Could you run this on the schedule? Yeah, it should have got this. I need to fix something in the prompt. Couldn't have didn't trigger scheduler automatically with this sentence. I'm using Notion. I'm using Obsidian to take notes mostly, my personal stuff. Okay, and now I have this scheduled, and if I go in automations, I can see basically how it works. It's a simple, again, a lot of this is just text. That's kind of the magic of it. And the only question is how much text do you end up writing and how much text does AI end up writing? So it's going to be very simple. Run the first Notion, blah, blah, blah. If it matches the description in that skill, basically run the action one. So I can, now I've automated this one thing, and it looks like a little thing, but this is one less task I need to care about. And this was just LinkedIn and Notion that got somehow connected together, even though, they don't have any direct link to each other. And something I really want to spend time doing when I'm working on all this is really spending more time writing, spending more time thinking. And that's what I want open work to be, but the world is going there one way or another. So in the next videos, I'll keep expanding on these simple concepts to show you how you can automate way more complex things. For example, one idea that I have is I started writing this issues document. Maybe not relevant if you don't use code, but I really would like to have these issues maybe either in Notion or Obsidian and have this AI look at the issues I write regularly and just submit commits and PRs for me. Or another idea I had was to be able to review pull requests for me, so set something on the schedule again. There's the same thing I did for LinkedIn. I could just extend it and be like, oh, create a Twitter skill, and it would do the same, and I don't need to pay for Twitter API access because that's often very expensive. I could start automate looking at my email and starting to answer something. I could get a notification on Telegram if someone sent me a certain email or vice versa. It doesn't really matter. Like there's no really limit to what these simple concepts can do. And I know at the beginning I started talking a bit about like agents as well. I'll I'll try to map agents a bit more in the future. At the moment, you got skills, you got MCP. Look at how far this took us. I guess there's a couple other subjects I like didn't cover and I can't touch them now. It's like, so maybe you're wondering, like, why are people buying Mac Minis? Like, what are people doing with these things? If you don't know, people are buying Mac Mini because once you set up these automations, you want them to run, and you want them to run even when your computer is off. So there's a couple options there. One option is to run this in the cloud. And then other option is to just, buy another Mac, plug it in at home, and just run the same software you're running there from here, there. And this will instantly get access to, how it is connected right now to my LinkedIn. It wasn't anyone's LinkedIn. It was my LinkedIn. I don't want this running in the cloud. I want this running on controlled environment that I have access to. Um, that's why people are buying stuff. So here in my case, actually, I can show you, I have this OpenWork Enterprise. This is a special a special workspace. So that's a concept I didn't talk about in OpenWork, but I can simply, so I'll show you my Mac Mini setup. I can simply go on, I'll connect with this one. I'm connecting now to the Mac Mini. One of the magic thing also is you just get a UI, so you don't need to be very knowledgeable to understand how to use a Mac Mini. You just need to know how to use a Mac. So this is just a Mac within a Mac. There's nothing special about it. And there I have OpenWork running, same app you saw before, with some skills, automation. On this one, I tend to have way more skills and automations. And I was able to simply click here, click on share, copy a couple of values, go on my local computer here. Actually, let me show you this a bit more clearly. I will do dark mode. I'll do dark mode for my remote computer and light mode for my local computer. So when I send something here, it does something very simple. Is it just like is connected to this instance, and it will just run whatever needs to be run there. So that's basically it. That's what I want to kind of finish on today. So I showed you automations. I talked about skills. I talked about MCP. I give a very, very brief overview of the tools. Again, they kind of all do the same, with some differences here and there. But as long as you master those main concepts, that's where you will get the value from. And once you understand these building blocks and you understand the capabilities that you can start building with today, independently if you're technical or not, you will go very far with this. There's a couple concerns. Maybe you've seen something about security. I'll get to that, in future videos as I build more out of my automation setup. But for today, I'll just leave it here. Have a great day.